In this video, I'm going to answer 40 commonly asked questions that I get from new game engine developers, and I'm going to answer them in under 10 minutes. I don't even think that is possible, but hey, let's give it a shot. Hey guys, if you are new to my channel, I'm Jero Serrano and I develop game engines as a hobby. I've been doing this for a long time now, and even though I'm not an expert, I do have one or two things to say about game engine development that may benefit you. So you may want to stick around. If you want to see me develop the game engine live, I'm usually on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So feel free to follow my channel. I'm usually there around 7 a.m. So enough talking and let's do this. All right, let me share with you, or let me answer 40 questions that I get from new game engine developers. And again, we're going to do that in less than 10 minutes. All right, so let's set my timer here. Again, I don't know if it's going to be possible, but we'll see. And it has begun. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, cool. All right, question number 1. Can I use Python to develop a game engine? The answer is yes. You can use Python, you can use Java, you can use Objective-C, you can use Swift, you can use whatever you want. If that is the language that you want to use, go for it. No one is going to stop you. There are no restrictions. There's no definitely rule that you should only use C++ and you cannot use any other language. None whatsoever. Question number 2. What component should I develop first? The main component that you need to develop first is the mathematics engine. So focus on implementing the vector classes and the matrix classes, because you are going to use a lot of those operations. So you need them implemented before you can implement anything else in your engine. Number 3. Should I use quaternions? Not if you are completely new to linear algebra, and especially not if you are new to game engine development. You can implement them later, but if you're completely new, just focus on implementing the vectors and matrices classes. It will be overkill for you to do quaternions at this stage. Number 4. What should I consider before developing a game engine? The main thing that I will tell you is to consider the opportunity cost. Think about what could you be doing instead of developing a game engine. Game engine is going to take a lot of time and effort. So think about what you are giving up by putting that time developing a game engine instead of doing something else. If you are looking for financial freedom through a game engine development, it's not going to happen. Not in a year or 2 years of development. May happen down the road, but not during those times. So think about that. 5. Should I develop a game or a game engine? This is really up to you. It's what you are passionate about. Are you more passionate about implementing game mechanics or implementing a game story than develop games? Are you more passionate about computer graphics and learning about the rendering pipelines and shaders and dealing with algorithms than do game engine development? It's all up to you. Question number 6. What skills do I need to develop a game engine? Well, obviously, aside from the analytical skills, I would say that not the skills, but more qualities that you need to develop are being persistent and consistent. You need to be very persistent in your pursuit of what you want to accomplish, because it's going to get really tough. And if you're not persistent, then you are going to quit. And the other quality that I suggest you to start developing is being consistent. Show up every single day. Code every single day, at least for 10 minutes. The whole point is to build that persistency and consistency in your character. And you would not only succeed at developing a game engine, but you would succeed at anything that you set your mind into. So question number 7. Should I develop my game engine using OpenGL, Metal, or Vulkan? It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. These are just graphics libraries, and you are free to use whatever you want to use. No one is stopping you. I use Metal in my game engine because I feel like learning Metal over Vulkan. But again, it's all you. Number 8, is it easier to build a game engine nowadays? I'll say you have more access to resources than what people 10-15 years ago had. So because of that, I think it is relatively easier to develop a game engine because you can learn from many different articles and blogs and videos. But I'll say you still have to put in the same amount of energy to build it. Number 9, what are some basic concepts to start learning about OpenGL? I would tell you to focus on learning how the OpenGL rendering pipeline works, what are shaders, vertex and fragments, shaders, and to try to play around with them as much as possible because the shaders are the key to developing a cool rendering engine. So focus on that. Number 10, do you need to be an expert on C++ to start? The answer is no, not at all. When I started, I was a mediocre C programmer. I had issues understanding pointers, but again, it's all up to you. It's your desire to learn something and stick to it and just getting better at it every single day. So no, you do not need to be an expert on C++ at all. Number 11, how should I spend 1,000 hours learning C++? Well, guess what? This is how you do it. Doing a lot of projects every single day, every single weekend. Do as many projects as you can. 12, what is the most valuable thing you own that has little monetary value? Let me show you what that is. Give me 1 second. All right, so this computer, this laptop, is where I built the Untold engine, version 1, 2, and 3. And this has a lot of sentimental value to me because, again, I built something that I never imagined I could build. So it has no monetary value because it doesn't work at all anymore. But again, it has a lot of sentimental value. And I'm going to provide a link to the story of how this laptop stopped working because it has a really nice story to it. So make sure to read it. Number 13, is it a waste to develop a game engine? No, it is not a waste. You know why? Because you are going to be learning. And you are going to be learning a lot. And last time I checked, learning something new is not a waste of your time. And you are going to be learning a lot, believe me. 14, as a developer, do you do both the artwork and programming? Yes and no. When I'm doing simple, when I'm implementing something new and I want to do a quick test, I usually go on Blender and design this 3D ugly character. But whenever I'm going to update you guys on my latest release on that game engine, then I usually go to cgtrader.com, and that's where I get the models. Best site to buy 3D models? Well, that would be cgtrader.com. Usually you can find models for about $10 to $15. It's really cool. Number 16, what strategies do you use to finish a project? Well, I have learned to manage my energy levels. For example, I know that I can focus more on analytical stuff early in the morning. So between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m., that's where I focus all my energy into developing the game engine. I know that that's the best time for me to focus. So you may want to learn that about yourself. What is the optimal time where you can actually do some analytical work versus something else? Number 17, what should I do a lot? Well, I would recommend you to do a lot of OpenGL projects. I really recommend you to do as many projects as possible, along with C++. So combine them both, so you can get a better, a better understanding on OpenGL, computer graphics, and C++. And I'm gonna stop the video right now, guys, because I failed to answer 40 questions in under 10 minutes. So I guess that is it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. No, I'm just kidding. You know what, guys? Let's go for 20 minutes. Let's see if I can answer 40 questions in 20 minutes. I totally miscalculated that. So let's do that. Let's start. Let's keep on going, basically. Number 18, what do I need to get started? Well, basically what you would need is to refresh your memory on linear algebra concepts. You need to review those concepts, and once you have those down, then you need to focus on again reviewing C++ concepts, and then you can focus on learning computer graphics. Computer graphics is a very complex topic, so take your time and in learning again what are vertex, what are shaders, what's the whole purpose of the vertex and the fragment shader. Learn the OpenGL rendering pipeline, and after that you will, depending on your desires, if you want to develop a physics engine, then you will have to read about some algorithms that are going to help you develop a collision detection and several other components that you may want. Number 19, how long would it take to develop a simple 2D game engine? I will tell you that it should take you about 1.5 to 2 years to develop a solid game engine, in my opinion. Number 20, how smart do you have to be to develop a game engine? Not smart at all. If I can do it, you can do it. You do not need a diploma from an Ivy League school. You do not need to have attended MIT, Stanford, none whatsoever. It doesn't matter where you went to school, or if you went to school at all, or none of that whatsoever. What you need are two qualities: being persistent and consistent. That is it. If I can do it, you can do it. Number 21, what tools do you recommend to write the documentations for your engine? The best tool out there is Doxygen. You are gonna hate the output, the HTML output, but believe me, it is an amazing tool to use for documentations. Amazing. Number 22, should I write the documentations as I develop my game engine? Ideally, you should. However, I don't, because writing documentation is a project all by itself, and it is the most boring part of developing a game engine. So what I do is, whenever I have completed a particular, whenever I have completed all the features that I wanted for my game engine, then I take a week or 2 weeks just to write the documentation. Again, I hate it, but it has to be done. Number 23, how do you come up with the name for your game engine? I actually went to the movie theater and the trailers were playing, and one of those trailers started out saying, "The untold story of blah blah blah," and the phrase untold story caught my attention. So I went home and opened up GIMP and I typed untold engine. I chose a font that I liked, and when I looked at it, I knew that was the name of the engine, and that was the end of it. I literally paid $7 for the name and the logo. That's it. Why did you open source your game engine? Well, basically, I wanted to give back to the community. I could have not developed a game engine without the indirect help of people that have, that wrote articles or that made YouTube videos or that answer questions on Stack Overflow. Without them, I could have not developed the game engine. So to you guys, if you ever wrote an article on how to develop a game engine or answer something related to game engines development, thank you so much. You made this possible. And again, I just want to make it, I just want to give back to the community. So, if you can learn from my game engine, hey, that's cool. And number 25, should I use C or C++? I don't know. What do you want to use? C, C++, Basic, Pascal? Use whatever you want. There are no restrictions whatsoever. It's your game engine. Go have fun. 25. Do you need artistic skills to develop a game engine? No, not at all. But again, I would recommend you to take some time to learn about the tools game artists and the workflow that they use, because it will benefit you a lot, especially if you are new to computer graphics. You are going to have a better understanding of, computer graphics theory, because you will be able to see it and play around with it. Believe me, it has helped me a lot to take the time to learn how to use tools such as Blender 3D. 27. Can I make a game engine without a team and with a budget of $100? Yeah, you do not need a team, and although I don't think you can make it with $100, because the most expensive thing that you are going to spend on developing your engine will be books. However, if you can find the books that I have provided in the description below at your library, then you can make it. You're not gonna break the bank total, but you are going to need a little bit more than $100, but not like 10,000. No, not at all. Not at all. 28. If you had to stick to one field of development, what would that be? Well, if I could go back to school and get my PhD, for example, which I do not want to do, I would focus on doing research on collision detection algorithms. I think the whole collision detection field is really cool, and I would focus on that. 29. Where and how did you learn to make a game engine? I learned to make one in my bedroom. And how? By reading a lot, and by trial and error, and by not giving up, and by showing up every single day, and being persistent, and being consistent. And whenever someone told me you cannot develop a game engine, I just ignored them and kept at it until I did it. That's how I did it. 30. From whom have you learned the most? You know what? You're gonna be surprised with this, but I think that every time I had a bug in my program, in my game engine, that was the time where I learned the most. Those bugs taught me a lot, right? But my approach was not to only fix the bugs, but also to understand why they showed up. I took that time to understand what was the root of the problem, and by taking that route, instead of just fixing the problem and understanding it, it helped me a lot. So I would say from bugs, believe it or not. 31. How do you deal with people who says that developing a game engine is stupid? Well, number one, you need to recognize that their statement is only an opinion. Number two, you need to realize also that their opinion does not pay your rent nor puts food on your table. So don't waste your time. Number 32, what tip do you recommend to new developers? I will recommend every single developer to solve the problem first using pen and paper, then write the code. Again, solve the problem first using pen and paper, then write the code. Do not do it the other way. Do not try to solve the problem as you are coding. It's just a waste of time. Don't do that. Actually, if you go and watch my Twitch live streams, you are going to see that I tend to do that a lot. Before I start coding, I explain people the problem, and I explain how I'm going to solve the problem using basically pen and my sketchpad. 33. How should you approach game engine development? As a game, enjoy the process, have fun, do not have an agenda, do not have deadlines, do not have these desires to make money from it. Approach it as a game, enjoy the process. That's it. 34. What is the worst thing you can do while developing? I'll say going to a Stack Overflow and copying and pasting the answer. See, even though you can do that, of course, I would suggest that you take the time to understand the code fully, right? Don't just copy and paste it. Understand what the code is doing. Take the time to analyze what's happening before you paste it in your application. I mean, that guy already gave you the code. The least that you can do is take the time to understand it. I mean, come on, right? 35. How can I keep coding every day? Just, you know, if you are having problems coding every day, well, then start coding 10 minutes a day. Start coding one function a day. Start coding one class a day. You know, with time, you are going to build that habit that you know that you need it so that you can code every single day. If you can create that habit of just coding one function a day, hey, you will eventually be coding a lot, you know, as time passes by. So just build a habit. Number 36. Is there an online community of indie game engine developers that I can join? Yep. I'm actually very glad that you asked, because we have a Discord server for for game engine developers, which you can join, and we provide tips and insights on how you can develop your game engine. We are not going to be asking you, why are you developing a game engine? Not at all. We are just going to help you build it. Cool. 37. Are you afraid of people trash talking your engine? Again, it's their opinion. They can talk trash all day long. I'm gonna keep doing what I want to keep doing, and I'm gonna keep developing my game engine and making it better and better and better, so they can waste their time talking. I'm gonna be doing so. 38. How do you approach failure? I approach it this way, and this has been my philosophy for, I guess, like 2-3 years. See, even if I failed, I have realized that from everything that I've learned through my failures, I will have a great story to tell, right? And my story can help other people, others, you know, do what I wanted to do. For example, I can guide others, I can lead others, I can share with others my experiences of what worked and what didn't work, and that can be very helpful to you, for example, so that way you can avoid doing the things that didn't work. So, you know, that's how I have been approaching failures for the past, I don't know, 3-4 years. Even if I failed, I am going to have a great story to tell. And you know, helping people, I think I like that more than anything else. So yeah, that's how I approach it. Number 39. How can I overcome the fear of starting a blog, YouTube channel, live streams, etc.? Have a bigger purpose than becoming famous or making money. You know, for example, my purpose is to help people. My purpose is to tell any developer out there that wants to hear that they can develop what they thought was impossible. I have done it. I didn't think I could develop a game engine, but now I want to tell you, hey, you can also develop something that is beyond your wildest dreams, right? You can do it, and all what you need to do is, I can be persistent and consistent. So that's my message. That is my message that I want to share with people, and it is way bigger than me, right? I want to help people, so have that, you know, come up with a bigger purpose than becoming famous. Like, who gives up? Who cares? And number 40, and the last question: what words of wisdom do you have for new game engine developers? Guys, is this: number 1, be kind to yourself. be extremely kind to yourself. All right. If you failed at doing this, don't, you know, don't make that a reflection of you. All right. Failure is not a reflection of your persona. Failure is just life telling you this is not the way that you do it. All right. So be kind to yourself. And if you failed the first time, well, guess what? Try it again. And if you fail the second time, well, try it one more time. And if you fail the third time, well, try it one more time. If you really want to do this, don't let failure stop you. Just keep on going. And again, every time that you failed, you are going to learn something new, something that you can share to others, something that you can use to guide others to avoid those same problems. So you, no matter what, you are gaining something valuable, right? You may not end up having your game engine, but may have gained a lot of value that you can share with others, and that is all. That is more valuable than anything else. And again, I cannot stress this enough. People, when we are, as a child, right? We are taught to always be kind to others. But I think that they forget to teach us that we must also be kind to ourselves first. So be kind to yourself, seriously. Oh, and by the way, I failed to answer 40 questions in under 10-20 minutes because I'm about almost 28 minutes now. So yeah, that sucks. So yeah, damn. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have learned a lot. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so right now. If you like this video, do let me know by clicking the like button. And if you want to watch me develop my game engine live on Twitch, please follow me on that channel as well. I'm going to provide a link to Twitch and to my Discord server as well in the description below. So again, thank you so much guys. Don't forget to follow me. And don't forget to join my Discord server. If you are a new game engine developer, we want you there. We want to help you. So just join. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. I basically fixed the issue that I was having with a game demo with the iOS version. So basically, if you download the game engine right now, you will not only be able to play that demo using your Mac, but also you'll be able to play using your iOS device. You can now rotate the characters as we were expecting, as you are expecting to use the game. You can also shoot